Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Real Women, Real Talk. How y'all doing out there today?
What up, y'all?
Yes. I am your host, Shavon, one of your hosts, Shavon Carter, one of the facilitators of Real Women, and I'm joined by the lovely.
Hello, everybody. I am Trenace Richardson, and I'm the founder of Real Women. And it's so funny because I got my Invisaligns back. So I feel like everything I'm saying has a lisp, but I'm here.
It's all right. It's okay. We can hear you loud and clear. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Um, And we are so excited to be with y'all today. We have some great things to talk about today, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And we are just excited to jump in. So, sister, how are you doing right now?
I'm good. It has been a full week and weekend, so
Yes.
full. And I can say, as busy as I have been, I have worked hard and I have played hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm feeling really good. And it's really cool that we're getting to advertise this and, record this and then publish it very soon after,
Hmm.
because it's kind of, very shortly after or, almost real time. So
Hmm.
I had pouring in good time with my sisters this weekend. But I've also done a whole lot of planning for the intensive. And I've gotten a whole lot done both for work and for my own business. So it's been very busy. And I spent, date night time with my husband. I've made sure my son was taken care of. So I felt like I was bringing home the bacon and frying it up and all the things. So it's been a good full week since the last time we recorded. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been busy for me too. But just having a good time this weekend. Like you said, spending time with my sisters and just celebrating, and had a chance to watch the football game today as we're recording this. It's on a Sunday, so I had a chance to watch a football game with one of my sisters and just cheering for our teams, a rivalry. She's a Steelers fan. I'm a Commanders fan, Washington Commanders, which is the shirt that I have on right now. We lost today, but it's all good. It was a great game, and we had a good time. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today.
Good. I heard it
Yeah.
was really close. So
It was
that's
so close, 27, 28. We almost had them, but we just couldn't pull it off. But it's all good. It's
really
all
fun.
good.
Good.
Yes. So that's our in the beginning of our real talk, and I do have something else that I wanted to ask as a part of our first segment in real talk, which which will kind of lead into what we're going to talk about for our deep dive discussion today. So I want to know from you, sister, for our part two of our real talk segment, what's something that you've been saying no to yourself about or for that you want to say yes to?
I'm not ready for this conversation. I just told you the week I had. I'm not ready for this conversation, Lord Jesus. Ooh, okay. What is something that I've been saying no to myself about that I
Mm,
want to say yes to? Okay, we're gonna start surface, and we'll see
okay.
if I end up in any deep waters. But surface,
Uh-huh.
I I have been saying no to seafood and meat.
Oh, okay. You have been. Yes, you have. You've been doing really good. It's almost a year, right?
It's almost a year.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out whether it's going to be a year that I,
Again, Thanksgiving is coming. Uh-oh.
so for everybody else, Thanksgiving was when I started this journey. And I've just been looking at meat twice these days. And it not all meat, but like,
Yeah.
you know how, like, if you a man and you see a
Uh,
big booty and you gotta
yeah.
look and then you gotta look again, or or if you're a woman and you see a nice look and you gotta look and look again.
You've been doing double takes on some of the meat. I get
Been
it.
doing double takes on salmon. I've been doing double takes on lamb. Oh my gosh. So I, every day I just figure out who's gonna win, whether it's
Yeah.
gonna be, me or the
Uh-huh.
meat. And so
Yeah.
far I've been winning,
Yeah.
but I am ready to. we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm taking
Okay.
it one day at a time. And I've never said to myself, this is it. I just said,
Okay.
as I'm doing it, I'm going to see how this goes and how I'm feeling.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, stay tuned. But
Got it.
that's one. As we move on through this, I might go deeper, but that's where I'm gonna land right now.
That is so funny because I've been with you when you have been eyeing some of the beats, and it's so hilarious.
Look,
Oh
I'll
my
tell
goodness.
y'all. Tell me how it tastes so I can live.
Right. Oh my God. But let me
Missing
ask,
missing
huh?
all of the stuff about
Right.
how it's a healthy thing and you're
Yeah.
eating the bird or you're eating a fit, like missing all of that.
Uh-huh.
I want to taste it again. So we'll see.
But I am curious, in this year, have you noticed a difference like in your body having not been eating meat?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
absolutely. I can attribute some of my weight loss to that. I can
Okay.
also attribute I eliminate better. I
Okay.
know that that is connected to it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and probably there's something connected to energy levels because I'm
Hmm.
not as sleepy and lethargic after
Yeah.
meals as I
Mm-hmm.
have. It's like meat, bread does it a little bit,
Yeah.
but meat is a big part of why we end up a little more sluggish after a
Mhm.
meal.
Yep.
So there are benefits. And honestly, what happens is as much as I meat, as long as I start with what's on my plate, I get
Yeah.
full fast and I really
Mhm.
don't want it after a while. It's just,
Right.
it's looking real sexy over there when it's first
Yeah.
time to eat. That's all.
It's just a temptation, it sounds like.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. I get
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. What
Um,
about you?
okay, so for me, something I've been saying no to myself about that I just want to change the language is
Hmm.
it's just gonna be not yet. It's
Okay.
yes, but not yet. So I've been telling myself, no, you cannot get another car, right?
You have been
And
saying
I
that.
I have been saying no, and I want to change the language. I will get another car, just not right now. So
Okay.
I have a plan in my mind about when would be an ideal time for me to do it. So yes, I'm going to get one. It's just not tomorrow. So
I like it. I like it. That makes sense to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Because we have established
Uh-huh.
that you are a woman of extremes
Yes.
sometimes. And
Uh-huh.
so
Yes.
you will say, I'm doing it or I'm never doing
Not
it,
doing it
ever,
right.
ever again.
Ain't no gray area for me. It's
Right.
either black or white. But yeah, I'm trying to
Yes.
learn
So
how
this
to live
is
in the
good that you're
gray. Yeah.
finding some middle ground. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't have to be yes or no. It can just be yes, not yet. So
Yes.
yeah.
Good, good, good.
So yeah,
Hmm.
that's something I'm gonna change my language around. So that makes me feel better, gives me something to look forward to. So I'm excited about that.
That's smart.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
lovely. And you know what? We would love to hear from you all because I am curious to know what you have been telling yourself no to and what you want to say yes to for yourself. We would love to hear from you. So feel free to reach out to us at speakpipe.com/real women real talk. Or you can email us at info@realwomenrock.org and tell us all about what's going on with you. All
Mhm.
right, sister. Are you ready? Since we're talking about this yes or no, are you ready for our deep dive conversation today?
I think I am. I think I'm
Okay.
awake enough. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. All right. So today I want to talk about the word no. That's what
Okay.
I want to talk about.
I
So
like it.
yeah. So our topic today is no is a complete sentence. Just no.
Just know.
Period. Yeah, just no.
No.
Um, but I want to talk about it in regards to boundaries and our comfort levels when it as it relates to the word no. So I want to start just with that question, sister. How comfortable are you with using the word no?
Okay, so you sent me this question another way. So can you ask it the way that you sent it to me? No, no, no. You're not. You did send it to me this way. Can you ask me, am I comfortable using the word no? Can you say
Okay.
it?
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Sister, are you comfortable with using the word no?
No.
Yeah.
Just wanted to be able to do that. I'm sorry.
Right, right. Got it. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about the lack of comfort with that word.
um, so I have to pump myself up and create a script in my head 80% of the time
Okay.
when it comes to using the word no. It's
Mm-hmm.
not every time, but I need to frame that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the 80% portion is thinking about on my job when I know I'm overwhelmed and I know that there's too much on my plate already.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I could say no. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have shown and proved myself enough that if I say this cannot happen right now, um, that it would be trusted, they wouldn't think I was trying to shirk my responsibilities. But something in me, it
Mm-hmm.
just getting a no out of me is very difficult to do. So I
Yeah.
find all of the words around the word no to
Mm-hmm.
do that. Um, Family members, it's really difficult for me to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about something my mother asked me. I even told my mother, this is something I'm not going to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and she heard me and she was like, that's right. Stand up for it. That's right. And then she needed me to do that same exact thing.
She like stand up for them, but don't tell me no though.
Don't tell me no. I'm your
Yeah.
mama. So,
Yeah.
so that's difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have figured out that my 20% of no, I
Mm-hmm.
I have learned my husband well enough to be able to say more often than not, he's gonna love me, or even if he's mad about it, he'll get over it, as it
Mm-hmm.
relates to no.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gotten used to his no, what his no sounds like and looks like. And
Mm-hmm.
then my inner circle, my inner sisters, we can I might feel guilty telling somebody else or feel bad about telling somebody else I'm not coming or I can't do that or I can't do this, and
Mm-hmm.
I may want to do something with you all, but if I can't do it, I can easily say no and y'all will be like, okay, so
Okay. Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the more comfort level I have being just all of who I am, that makes it easier, but 80% of the time it's a whole lot of work.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
What about you?
I feel like I'm probably on the opposite end, maybe 90% no, 10% yes.
That's so funny. I wouldn't have thought that until you just said it right now. And I was like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
about right.
and I think it's because I've spent a lot of my life people pleasing and feeling guilty about saying no and just wanting to please everybody and accommodate everybody. And now my answer is just no. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. And it's uncomfortable and we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but the space that I'm in, I just don't have the energy for the emotional acrobatics. I just don't feel like it. My no is my no, and I'll just have to deal with whatever that feels like within me. But yeah, like you said, those who know me, those who love me, understand what no means
Mm.
for me, and don't take it personally. But yeah, I think I've just kind of gotten to a point where I'm more comfortable saying no. Yeah. Mhm.
Understood. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are. Yeah. This is gonna
Mhm.
be good then, because we're kind of two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. But
Mm.
you know what's interesting? What I just thought about, even though we were talking about saying yes to myself with buying a car, I have a difficulty saying no to myself.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
I like convenience. I like having my way. And especially when it comes to spending money, like I just want to do what I want to do. So that's where the challenge is for me.
And
Hmm.
it is the opposite for me
Oh,
because
wow. Yeah.
yeah, because it's hard for me to say no to
Hmm.
other people, but I
Hmm.
will shut myself down in a second about something.
Mm.
So that's, ooh,
It's
okay.
interesting, right?
We're doing a deep dive real fast here.
Yeah,
We're getting under the water real fast. Okay.
yeah, because
Okay.
that just came to me as you were talking. I was thinking about it. Like it's not. It's easier for me to tell other people, but for me, it's like, huh? Well, why you can't tell yourself no? So that's a whole nother thing to explore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. You
Yeah,
give, I'm sure something's about to come up because that was new for me. And
yeah,
it's different. You know, when you do self work a lot,
mhm.
when you unpeel a new layer and you're like, what
Yeah.
about me?
Wow.
I like that. So yeah, this is good already.
Uh-huh. Yes. So we just kind of talked about this as it relates to no and where we are with it, but do you feel like you tend to overextend yourself as it relates to other people and with saying no, or do you have a problem with creating boundaries?
I'm better at it. I'm
Okay.
better at
Mhm.
not overextending myself than I
Okay.
used to be.
Uh-huh.
But I would still call it an issue because I would say it's 80% that I have an issue saying no, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if I'm, even if it was 70-30, I would still say it's too much on this side.
Yeah.
And so, so that does equate to overextending myself.
Mhm.
And I just had this conversation today. Um, that was so good with a sister friend. And I was saying that at my big age, at this point in my life,
Mhm.
I want to do less of the things.
Mm.
I want it to be less about quantity
Mhm.
and more about quality. And
Yeah.
so the questions I start asking myself now are what are the things I want to do that are, you know, long lasting, that are
Mhm.
going to be here when I'm gone, that will add up to, you know, something bigger than just myself and that kind of thing. And so that matters to me more now.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier for me not to overextend. Like I plan my week on
Mhm.
Sunday. So
Yeah.
I have already started, and before I go to bed, I'm gonna finish and make sure that I've added everything from my personal business,
Mhm.
my personal life, and my 9 to 5, that I've added it all to the whole week so that I can
Mhm.
see everything. And if I
Right.
got to move something around because it's too much happening this day, I will
Yeah.
cancel a meeting. I will
Mhm.
move some things around. So I'm better at that because I'm planning better,
Got it.
and things just don't jump up and pop up on
Mm.
me.
Mhm.
But I can plan a yes
Yeah.
and then, you know, and then have it so on my calendar. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So as it relates to me, I definitely don't overextend myself because I'm not gonna do that. I don't. If I don't
It's
feel it,
so
I'm not doing it. So
true.
that's not gonna happen. But what's interesting is about the boundary piece. That is a challenge for me in relationships.
Mm,
So I
mhm,
have a tendency to go with the flow in relationships. So it's not necessarily me not saying no. It's just like I'm just kind of flowing. And then after a while, I start to think about, wait, do I want to do that? Like, is it?
mhm,
Because it's just so easy going, when it comes to relationships for me until I get to a point of realizing, like, wait, maybe I don't want to do that.
mhm.
So it's just like me being aware of where I am and what I want as it relates to being in a relationship. So that's where I see like the boundary where I'm boundary deficient in romantic relationships is where it shows up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I don't think this is a stereotypical statement. I know I'm generalizing and I know it's
Mhm,
not true for everybody,
mhm,
but I think for many women, we have all experienced, especially in relationships, overextending ourselves
mhm.
or finding ourselves in a place where we're like, no, I really don't like that. Why am I doing
Yeah.
that? Why have I
Mhm,
indulged in that? And so
mhm.
I think I agree with you. I think that's an area
Yeah.
where creating boundaries is something that a lot of us can relate to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this question came to mind also. I don't have children, but I wonder as a mother, how difficult is it to say no to your children? Like, is it
Very.
harder? Okay. Okay.
Very,
Yeah.
very. And I
Yeah.
mean, maybe not every mother. I know that I've heard
Hmm.
about some children who would say, daddy is the easygoing one and mommy is the disciplinarian. But
Hmm.
in my life, and the people around me, it is more so the converse, where
Mm.
daddy is the disciplinarian who is, more easily setting the boundaries and
Yeah.
saying no. And mommy is the nurturer who is trying to figure out a way to finagle it and make it happen. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and my mother figured out a way to make things happen.
Mm.
After she divorced my dad and then got remarried to my stepfather, there was a period of time in between that she was a single mom. And then when she was with my stepfather, she was still doing a lot of stuff by herself. And
Yeah.
so she made it happen, figured it out, right? If I
Mhm.
wanted to do so, I I never knew how poor we were,
Mhm.
because and what the lack of resources were, because she provided it, or if she didn't, my grandparents did, or my aunts and uncles did. And I thought it was a decent regular meal to eat beans and franks. I didn't know we was doing that because there was nothing else to eat, or that was the cheapest
Yeah.
thing to eat.
Mhm.
So because I came from that, I just wanted to make things happen for my son, and I wanted him to experience even more than I have experienced.
Yeah.
So I didn't go out of the country until till I became an adult, even though my mother did a whole bunch of stuff for me, right? That's
Mhm.
not true. I went to Canada while I was a minor, but
Okay.
other than that, but now I want to make sure my son goes to visits every continent. I want to make sure
Yeah.
he visits every state in the union, all of
Yeah.
this. So this, I want more for him. I want more for him causes me to say yes many more times than I
Mhm.
probably should.
Yeah.
And we talked about that in one of the Real Women Sister Circles recently, because
Mhm.
we were talking about what we like to hear.
Mm.
Kia Mason did it. She was doing Can You Hear Me Now? But it was like, what are
Mhm.
the sounds? What are the words that you like to hear? How do
Mhm.
they make you feel? And then
Mhm.
what are the sounds and the words that you don't like to hear, and how do they make you feel?
Yeah.
And that ended up turning into a conversation with a lot of the women in there who are mothers that say, we really only want our children to hear the things they want to hear. So we
Mhm.
try to feed that to them as positive reinforcement. You're amazing, you're wonderful, you're this and that.
Mhm.
But the lack of them not hearing the critical
Mhm.
feedback and the no's and it makes for some spoiled kids, boy.
Yes.
Spoiled kids.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
difficult. But I think that's
Yeah.
probably where you were going. But that's it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that and if I had children, I can imagine that I would have the same challenge with it. That's probably another area where I would just have difficulties with boundaries.
Mhm.
Even though I am the product of being told yes a lot and being spoiled, so I understand some of the challenges that can create in children, and then going into adults, some unrealistic expectations about what we should be getting from people, because we're so used to saying yes. So I know that would be in the back of my mind, but also just the nurturer in me and wanting to be there for my children. I'm sure that would be difficult. So I just wanted to. I was just
Mhm.
curious about that as it relates, because I know that's another area that can be challenging for parents.
Yep.
Um, so why do you think it is hard for people to say no? Like
Hmm.
what would you say if you're thinking about yourself or other people? Like what would you say is the challenge behind
I so I'll speak for myself first. I don't want to disappoint.
that? Mhm.
Um, I want to be seen as a resource, and I want to be seen as amazing and capable and superwoman and all those things. And um, my yes says I can do it. It says, I am the thing that you think I am to accomplish it. So it's definitely self-centered
Mhm. Yeah.
as it relates to appeasing and pleasing me.
Mhm.
And I know it's me wanting to please the other person, but it's something that feeds me as
Mhm.
well with me saying yes, because I'm getting something out of the response that I get from
Yeah.
saying yes.
Mhm.
And oftentimes that's all I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm I I have to be satisfied with the feeling I got from them accepting that, because now
Mhm.
it's on. I gotta work for it. I
Mhm.
gotta make time for it. It's gonna cost me in the long run, but
Yeah.
I got something out of making them happy in that moment. So, and then they gonna get a whole lot more out of that. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's as much as wanting to get this acceptance of some sort, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that resonates with me because I think when I used to say yes more, it was more so one, the people pleasing, but it was probably more pleasing myself, being that for a long time I was labeled by family as selfish.
Mm,
So I think me saying yes to other people was a way for me to prove to myself that I'm not just all about myself and that I do care about what's going on with other people and being there for other people. But I think now it's just like, I mean, it is what it is. If that's what I am, that is. But because it's not coming from a genuine place. So I'd
mm,
rather just be who I genuinely am, as opposed to just trying to perform to prove to myself that I'm not something that I've been labeled as. So I think for me, that's a part of what saying no when it relates to other people. As it
mhm,
relates to myself, I think it is. I want to feel comfortable all the time, and
mhm,
I want to have what I desire at my fingertips just because it makes me feel good. Yeah.
mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
You just said something that made me think about me having to say no is
Mhm.
uncomfortable for me.
Mhm.
So so I have to work through some very uncomfortable, difficult feelings in order
Yeah.
for me to say no.
Mhm.
But I need to figure out whether I wanna feel uncomfortable at the beginning and say no,
Mm,
or
mhm.
whether I wanna feel uncomfortable after I say no, because then
Yeah.
I gotta fulfill whatever this yes is, which
Yeah.
is gonna cost me too, so, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So at either end of it, there's a cost associated. It's just where do you want to pour your energy in doing the work? Yeah.
Yep.
That
Yep,
makes sense.
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So one of the things, as I was just kind of looking this up and just seeing what's out there as it relates to this and establishing boundaries, it found some information. It talks about saying no. It can be associated with people pleasing, and tendencies may cause you to not want to disappoint people, like you said, or it may be seeking approval because it
Mm,
just feels good to be able to seek approval and get that stamp of validation and approval from other people. So that could be a way to kind of feed our emotional needs because it's natural to want approval, from other people.
mhm,
So that could be a way of getting it from other people.
mhm,
Um, but saying no is a way of also establishing boundaries, for
mhm,
ourselves. So it demonstrates what we're willing to accept. So it shows people like what we're willing to accept in a relationship with other people and how we expect to be treated. And it's important for our own well being.
mhm,
Because as we've talked about, overextending ourselves can create a lack of boundaries. It can create us just being tired, stressed out, trying to do so much for other people that we're not taking care of ourselves. So I think that's why a lot of times in Real Women, we use the moniker of self care is not selfish because
mhm,
many of us have been taught that it is selfish. So, yeah.
mhm.
Hmm.
And can I say something about that? This is like every time I have a conversation about this type of topic, um, one of the communities I'm a part of, shout out to the faith community. One of the monikers is indoctrination is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
so I'm always thinking about the what do you call it, the automatic thought that I have, the subconscious thought that I have related to this topic, even though I am an advocate for, I am of the
Mhm.
persuasion that self-care is not selfish, and
Mhm.
no is a complete sentence, and take care of yourself first, and it's important for your own well-being. All of those things I know to be true, and I teach them, and I preach them, and I practice them as best I can. And yet
Mhm.
still
Yeah.
in the back in the recesses of my mind
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I end up thinking, like, but that just sounds so ungodly. And that
Yeah.
just sounds like you are just not giving and serving and loving and,
Uh-huh.
all those things and not sacrificing. And
Mhm.
it's just so deeply embedded
Yeah.
within the teaching that I have to balance that thought all
Mhm.
the time. Like it
Mhm.
happens every single time I say this. No,
Mhm.
this is not selfish to take
Right.
care of myself. No,
Right.
I will not have time for anybody else if I don't take care of myself first.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I just wanted to process that out loud, that thought
Uh-huh.
happened. And I was still like, yeah, Shavon, you right.
Because there's so much messaging, like you said, the indoctrination and just things that we have been taught in childhood. Those things stick with us, and so it can be hard to steer away from that teaching and those messages because they are in the back of our mind, telling us how we should be operating and living. So yeah, I get it,
Absolutely.
totally get it.
Mhm.
So the last thing I want to share about this topic, and then we can move on into our next segment, is just some tips for saying no to people. Um,
Yeah.
so some things that I found: one, just practicing it, even if it feels uncomfortable. I think
Mhm.
that's the first thing that we've talked about. Like, it's gonna bring some discomfort if we're used to saying yes to people and even to ourselves all the time. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good. We're not telling you that it's going to be an easy switch that you can just turn it off and like, oh, I don't feel anything. I feel comfortable. It's going to be a process, but just remember why you're doing it in service
Mhm.
of yourself, in service of self care, and just learning how to put you first. And so, no can be a complete sentence. So, the more you do it, the easier it will get.
Mhm.
Any thoughts about that, sister?
Oh my goodness. I agree. I
Mhm.
think just that whole thing about you're gonna have to do the work for at one point or another. You either do
Mhm.
it on the front end or the back end. But
Yeah.
yes, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So another thing is understand that no doesn't always require an explanation. That is definitely something I've had to learn because I think in my comfort level, increasing my comfort level of saying no, I wanted to explain why I was saying no to make it a little more palatable for the other person so they can maybe understand and maybe they'll accept my no. And so now it's just like, no, I'm not, no. But
I'm looking
yeah.
everywhere but the screen because I still haven't figured out, like, I cannot ever think of a time when I have just said no
Yeah. Mhm.
without any words before it
Yeah.
or after it.
Yeah. That's tough.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Child, I feel like I'd be like disrespecting my mama's legacy or something as much as she done laid herself out on the floor
Yeah.
as a carpet for people to, like she is just my mother. My mother gives until she has nothing else to give. My husband has a joke about her. He
Mm.
was like, I don't know a whole lot of people that I just know gonna make it to heaven, but your mama is gonna make it to heaven.
She gonna be up there.
She gonna be up there. I
Yeah.
mean, she's just a giving person, even
Yeah.
now. Just I learned the sandwich effect, like
Okay.
professionally.
Yeah.
So I try to sandwich it like something flowery,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
something flowery. I would love to, but I can't
Yeah.
because
Uh-huh.
such and such and such and such. Oh man, is it such and such date? I would love, but no, 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 no. Or
Yeah.
I would have, but I'm exhausted from such and such and such. Like it's always
Yeah.
a qualifier. So
Yeah.
I have not mastered that one yet at all.
Yeah. And I will say I do use it when I am saying no to my friends, just out of them wanting to understand why, I guess,
Mhm.
and just out of love and consideration for them because of the attachment to my friends. And that goes into the next point of expressing gratitude and being kind as you deliver no, because
Mhm.
it doesn't always have to be just no. Sometimes you do feel more comfortable using the flowery language, the sandwiching tool or technique because you just want people to be aware of why you're saying no. Whether they accept it or not, it just may be a part of your how you desire to deliver the message. So that could be a way that is done as well.
Yeah. I've been considered diplomatic. That's one of
Yeah.
the things
Yeah.
I've been told about myself. And
Hmm.
so and it doesn't hurt any that I love words.
Yeah.
So I will use some words to say some
Ah,
stuff.
you're so good at it. When I say you put those words together, yes, yes, you do.
I've learned how to be a little less verbose,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, so I think I like finding another way to say that two-letter word.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's somewhere in me it feels better. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's definitely a tool
and
that
it,
can
and
be.
it feels like it's received better
Yeah.
too. So
Hmm.
that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I totally get it. And then communicating your boundaries. Like people need to be aware of our boundaries, and they may try to test those boundaries to see if you're really serious about that. But communicating them can be another way of helping them to understand why you're saying no, so they can maybe not ask again or not try to push those boundaries if they respect you enough. So yeah, so that can be another way.
I
Hmm.
have something to say about this one.
Yeah.
This is so good. This one is good, y'all. This one is good because if you communicate your boundaries in advance,
Hmm.
it can prevent you from having to say no because people are clear.
Yeah.
Or if they test your boundaries,
Hmm.
you can reinforce, remind,
Hmm.
or one of the ways I figured out, I practice a no rather than having to say a no. After I've
Hmm.
said what my boundaries are, I'll give you a
Yeah.
perfect example. I have made it clear to everyone I love, everyone. The only person who people who this does not apply to is my mother, my husband, and my children.
Oh, let me guess. I bet you I know what it is.
Tell me,
You don't like to talk on the phone.
child.
Yes.
Now listen here. You got it. That's how clear it is to
Yes.
my friends, my sisters,
Yes.
my my husband will make me talk on the phone and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
My mama will make me talk on the phone and I'm gonna do it. My children call me, we gonna talk.
Yes.
Other than that, you can't just make me get on the phone.
No.
Don't do that. Now,
Uh-uh.
I feel a no rising up in my
Right.
spirit. Now I'm
Right.
finding my no. I'm finding my no. Here it is. I'm saying it with my chest.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel it. I feel my help. Okay.
Yeah.
So because it is offensive to me to feel
Hmm.
like you are going to take my time in that moment. So
Yeah.
instead of me just having to say no, what I say is text me
Yeah.
that we need to talk.
Hmm.
And you can call me, but just don't expect me to answer. And
The
don't be
answer.
mad at me for not answering because you didn't
Mhm.
tell me what you were calling about. You
Right.
didn't tell me it was an emergency. You didn't tell me you
Hmm.
needed to talk to me right now. So I have
Hmm.
no clue what you're calling about. So we're not gonna
Exactly.
talk right now.
We're
Like
not.
that's just we're
Period.
not gonna talk right now. So I
Yeah.
have not said no to you. I clearly said what my boundary was, and now you're going
Mhm.
to experience my no.
I know that's right.
Yeah, yeah. I found it. I found my no. I found my
There it
no.
is. There it is. I'm telling you, I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh. Another one is don't apologize for your no. You
Mhm.
do not have to be like, I'm so sorry. But
Mhm.
no, like
Yeah.
it's no.
Yeah.
And maybe give an explanation, but just we don't have to apologize for no because that's our no. We have a right to say no.
Yeah.
And then the last one is just don't lie. Just tell the truth. The answer is no. It's
I
just
like that.
no.
I like that.
You don't have to lie about it. Your sister got a emergency or the baby called and now you gotta go and talk to the baby. That's why you can't do it. I just don't feel like it. I don't want to go.
We
Yeah.
heard about somebody saying somebody died and like
Yes.
you can't say that but once.
Right. Right. No. Just
Mhm.
no. So
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I hope those of you who are watching have gotten something out of this, and feel free to reach out to us and share with us what your challenges are with saying no or your ease of saying no are. And once again, you can visit us at speakpipe.com/Real Women Real Talk, or you can email us at info@realwomenrock.org.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
All right, sister. So thank you for that. It was a great conversation.
That was good.
So we're gonna mosey on into our next segment. Put myself in her shoes, and I have a little different spin on this today. I just have some would you rather questions that I want to ask you about.
Okay, I like
So
that.
there's okay. So you like that? Okay. So we have two
Okay.
questions. So sister, would you rather your partner have a tattoo of their ex's name on their chest
Uh-oh.
or their ex live next door to y'all?
Well, damn, you gonna make me cuss. I did not expect this. Okay. Um, I would rather have the tattoo.
Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
would rather have the tattoo. As
Yeah.
much as I am a proponent of creating safe tattoos that you will want for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So I would hate that he has a tattoo of a
Mhm.
person's name, but this is something we could alter.
Yeah.
We could go and get that fixed,
Yeah. Hmm.
covered up, removed, if we were willing to spend that kind of money.
Hmm.
But living next door, I can't control, and I
Yeah.
don't need that constant reminder from me or him. So no,
Hmm.
nope,
Yeah. It's a
nope.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first answer is the tattoo that I would
Mhm,
prefer that.
mhm,
However, I
mm.
have been in a relationship where I really liked the person's ex. Like we were cool.
Wow,
It
that's
was
nice.
a yeah, it was an ex-wife of theirs, and I got along because they had a child together. So I love their daughter, and his ex-wife was remarried, and so her husband was cool. So it's like they could live next door, but that's about
Mhm.
it. So it would have to be that type of relationship that I have had with their ex for that person to live next door. But in general, no, it's just the
Yeah.
tattoo. It's more
No, I
powerful.
get that. I mean, all of those things accounted for. That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Right.
I can't see all of those things coming together, but once in a
Yeah.
lifetime. So,
Yeah. Exactly. So that tattoo is just yeah, it would be better.
mhm.
Yes. Hmm. Okay.
Nice.
So the next one, would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
No.
Yeah, when you do that. Yes. Okay. Got it. So no to both.
Hell no.
Okay. Okay. It's a no. And you can say that. You would
I get
rather
to
neither.
choose.
Right.
Yeah,
C.
dog, neither one of them. That
Your
is
answer is C.
that is a crazy would you rather. What?
Uh-huh. Yep.
I will be using this one in a conversation
Yep.
soon. That was
Uh-huh.
good. I I
Yes.
I'm gonna stick with my no right now.
It's a no.
I don't like either one of those.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I don't mind the internet history. I don't
Mm,
mind it. I
mm,
be searching some weird stuff, and I just want people to know. You can know what I research. Like, look, girl, what are you talking about? And you know what? A lot of my searches is it's it's my guilty pleasure. If I
mhm.
see, and it's a little morbid, but if I see on Facebook that someone has passed away, I may search the person's name to figure out like what happened.
Mm,
I'm
mhm,
like, wow,
mhm,
I wonder what happened. What is there a
mhm.
news article associated with it, or it's just this curiosity about me, this investigator in me that wants to know more about people's passing. So
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is in
yeah.
my internet
No,
history.
I think for the most part in this season of my life,
Yeah,
my history is boring or, very specific, like you said, just very nuanced or
yeah.
to my life.
Hmm.
But if I had to go back, like if it was just my whole internet history, no, I done cussed 3 times this episode. This was not supposed that no ma'am. No ma'am, no ham. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You'd have thought
Oh my
and
goodness.
it was probably I wasn't a hot girl, so
Uh-huh.
I wanted to see stuff because I won't do it. Like,
Right, right. I
nope,
get it.
nope,
Uh-huh.
nope, nope. Yeah.
No ma'am, no Sam, no ham. Yes, I got it.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
understand. Okay.
Tell the truth and shame the
I
devil. This is
know that's right. I know
real
that's
women, real
right.
talk.
Real women, real talk. That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna mosey on into our last segment
I'm ready.
with the spiritual nugget, sister. So, given all that we have talked about today, is there something that resonates with you that you want to leave with our listeners today?
Okay, I just want to say this one more time. Nope.
Okay. Ah!
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This has been so fun. I did not think I was gonna enjoy an episode about no as much as I
Right.
have. Like, thank
Yeah.
you for this, sister. I really
Mhm.
have.
Yeah.
And I think my thought is the more you know yourself, the more comfortable you are with your no.
Mhm.
The more you know yourself, the more comfortable you are with your no. Um, I thought it was something about my just turning 50,
Mhm.
but I wrote a poem a long time ago, and it is still true that not only is age just a number, but I've met a lot of old fools,
Mm.
met a lot of young wise people, and a lot of old fools. And so I don't know that it's just age that makes us wiser or makes us, make better decisions and choices. I think it's experiences and us leaning into the lessons of those experiences.
Mhm.
And if we can, from those experiences, get to know something about ourselves,
Mhm.
that's what allows us to say, okay, never again from that.
Mhm.
The opposite of that is me not learning the lessons, and then I get to experience this, even if it's with a different person or in a different state or at a different job. I experience this over and over again because I haven't learned the lesson from it about me or about the boundaries and the
Mhm.
limitations that would prevent this from happening again.
Yeah.
So the more I learn me and what makes me tick and what works for me and what does not work for me, the easier it will be for me to lean into no. So
Mhm.
the more I know me, the easier it is to render a no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. What do
You
you
know
think?
what's coming up for me may be a little challenging, but for people, but find comfort and deal with the discomfort in your no so that people can know what you truly desire.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
do the work of the discomfort on this end with saying no so that the genuineness will come through, whether it's no or yes. Like,
Mhm.
so that it can come from your true self. But that goes into what you just said of knowing who we are, what our true selves truly desire. But just adding that on the end so people can just really know
Mhm.
what that whether you're being genuine or not. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm. It shapes you. Your no helps make you a more dynamic,
Mhm.
authentic, realistic person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just look like yes blobs.
Yeah.
We just
Mhm.
so I'm thinking about a sculptor. Like
Mhm.
the nose are etching away at all of the pieces that aren't supposed to be there. So
Yeah.
this wonderful sculpture, this wonderful masterpiece can shine through because
Mhm.
it's who you really are. That's
It's
beautiful,
who you really
Siobhan.
are.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, a beautiful place to end. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
So that's what I was feeling in this moment.
mhm.
All right, y'all. So look, this has been another amazing episode of Real Women, Real Talk. We are Real Women Rock, and we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization that exists to create safe spaces for women to do this, what we were doing today in today's episode. So if you want to find out more about us, visit our website, realwomenrock.org. We have an amazing intensive that we've been talking about for a little while now that is coming up in like 2 weeks. It's so crazy that we are in the month of November and it is happening soon. November 22nd through the 24th. It's not too late to register. There is still time for you to register. So definitely visit our website, Real Women Real Rock, realwomenrock.org/intensive for more information specifically about our intensive. And we have products. Trenace has on one of our sweatshirts. So go to our page and visit our shop. We have so many things. We have, oh, I have something I can share. This mouse pad, if you're watching us, we have a mouse pad. We have tumblers. We have leggings. We have slides. We have phone cases. We have a lot of things that you can purchase to represent real women the way that we do. So we appreciate those who have purchased stuff and yeah, go and get your merch and support us. So that's another way that you can support us. So yeah, just come
Love
on,
it.
see about us. We have sister circles. We have in-person and virtual sister circles. And when this is airing this week, we have a virtual circle that's coming up November 16th.
Sure do.
Yes. And guess what the topic is going to be? No, period.
Period.
Yeah, it's going to be about no. So we can continue this conversation in the virtual sister circle happening this Saturday at 10 a.m. So go ahead and join us, and more information is on our website as well. So yeah, just
Mhm,
check us out. We are out here in the world doing great things. We're so excited about it. So yeah.
mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah, this has been great, y'all. So y'all just, have fun using your no. It's gonna be all right. They'll be all right, and it'll be fine.
Mhm.
So
They're gonna
yeah.
be
Until
all
next time. Exactly, they're gonna be just fine. So just make sure you be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, take care of yourself, and no is a complete sentence. All right. Enjoy yourselves, everybody, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
bye.